Afternoon, guys. Welcome to the first day of Fall Fast Forward 1. I am Dr. Nanette K. Hartley. I'm your lab instructor for 211. I either have you in class or in an online section. We're teaching the two of them together. And so we're going to do things a little bit differently than we typically would do. Walk you through sort of what the expectations are, what's going to happen, that kind of thing, so that we can talk about that. Now, given that I am teaching an online section, what I'm going to do is make the WebEx available, just like Professor Twinner is doing, make WebEx available to those of you who might be able to make it, and I will record those sessions. So if you can't be there at that time, you can see what would have happened in the laboratory. That will assist you in getting things set up. Now, again, pre-lab needs to be done before the lab. So that should be done before the time that you're anticipating doing the lab or looking at the data. And so directions for what needs to go in your lab notebook, what that needs to look like, can be found on D2L. There's a sample lab notebook that I put in there so that you can take a look at that. You should come to class ready to take data. You should have everything written out such that you could perform the experiment without any reference to the lab manual. You should be able to do that. Okay. So that's the before lab part. When you get to lab, we'll talk a little bit about what the experiment is. It's some things that you might need to watch out for, some things that you might need to see in the laboratory, that kind of thing. And then I will turn you loose to work in the lab. Now, for those of you who are in the online section, you have data that is available to you to, the term we use is dry lab, this particular experiment. So you have the data. It's almost like you collected it, except you didn't have the experience of collecting it. And then you can go and analyze it just like you would from any other course. The big things are, how do these things happen? What things did you miss in doing this? That's the part that the online students don't get. But I will record the discussions that we have before the class. And then if we're using one of the instruments, like when we do the melting point, I will probably try and record some of the use of the melting point. I will try to record some video related to what the experiments look like, assuming that I can get a group in my actual section to let me do that, so that you can see sort of what those experiments look like, what physically they were about. And like I said, I will make a WebEx available to you. It'll be the same link as I used for my office hours during that time, so that you can see, all right, here's what we've got, here's what's going on. And I will try and leave that running the whole time so that you can, if you have questions, you're seeing something that somebody's doing and you don't understand, then we should be able to talk about that. Now, again, if you can't make it for that, that is perfectly fine. You are not required to watch these recordings. They are just available for your knowledge. And that's everything that you've got from the lab side. Now, on the post-lab side, you are expected to write a report for every laboratory, okay? Two of them are formal reports. The rest of them are informal reports. There are guidelines to what needs to be in both types on D2O. So there's information there about what you need to do and how you need to do it. I'm willing to take a lot of things. So if there are any general comments that I have after looking at them, then we can talk about that. That's fine. You can get feedback and then redo things or do them differently moving forward. That's what I mean. Do them differently moving forward. So there will be that. You have to do the report and then you have to do the post-lab questions. And if you have questions about the post-lab questions, if you're looking at it and you do not understand, you can contact me. I am more than happy to walk you through that material. I have in the past walked people through the entire thing so that they get the answer that they need, but that means that you then have a discussion about that material, okay? So I'm not opposed to doing that. I just need to make sure that you guys do it. And then, of course, it's up to you to take the information that I gave you and turn that into something that you can turn into me for a grade. everything will be turned into D2L the day that we're supposed to do the experiment. So, for instance, the lab schedule says that we do the intro on Tuesday. We'll be doing the first lab on Thursday. You were then expected to turn that lab in the following Tuesday. Okay, so it's always the following Tuesday, and it's going to be both the Tuesday and the Thursday that are due the following Tuesday. That's the logic that you'll see for the turn-ins. If you guys turn everything in on Tuesday, I will do my best to have everything graded by the weekend so that you can then use that information moving forward to see, do I need to make any changes for the new reports or procedures or whatever. So, only a day or two, hopefully only a day, but that will depend. If you turn in your labs late, then that can potentially happen, but your grade will not be reflected until I have time to get to it, because I've taken and, eked out time in my calendar to make sure that I'm grading these things. If I don't have yours to grade at that time, then it's going to depend on when I'm able to do that. All right. Anything else? Just trying to think if there's anything else that I want or need to talk to you guys about. I'm not so sure. Again, my name, Professor Dr. Nanette K. Hartley. I go by Nan, please. I prefer Nan. It's perfectly fine to just call me Nan. I mean, the only reason I have a title in front of my name is because I spent a lot of time in school. So don't feel like it makes me all that great. But that's what I've got. I'm going to put this video up for both my in-person and my online sections. Again, this will apply slightly differently to the two populations. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks. Let me know if you need anything, okay?